Welcome to dailyreporter.lk. Today we are going to discuss about the 2024 budget proposal of the National People's Power Government last week presented by the President Wickramasinghe Dissanayake as the Minister of Finance. At this moment the attention to the budget has been gone due to the recent shooting that took place in Alutkade court complex, challenging the rule of law. Anyhow, when we take up the economic condition, it's essential to discuss about the budget, forgetting other things. And when we consider the budget proposals of the government, it actually reflects the government's policies or the government's stand. So, for example, the government expresses or reflects a kind of welfare economic policies through their budget proposals. You know, even though National People's Power or its main party, People's Liberation Front, is a socialist party, you know, in Sri Lanka as well as in the world, there is no such socialist policies that can be practically implemented. Instead, we can implement welfare economic policies instead of these socialist principles or policies. So that is what the government is doing in this budget, and they have considered most of the downtrodden sectors of the population and given concessions to them. For example, the government has proposed to increase or implement the Aswasuma Welfare Benefit Scheme as it is, and some of the compensations like the compensations paid to the kidney patients has been increased, or similar such measures has been taken. And also the government has considered about the pensioners as well. Previously, you know, the government paid a very high interest for the senior citizens fixed deposits. The interest rate was around 15%, but now the fixed deposit interest rates are very low, such as 7%, around 7%, and the government has now decided to give them 3% additional interest from the government funds, additional to the bank's interest rate. And there are many other similar welfare schemes implemented by to be implemented by this budget proposal. But one thing we have to consider is that to implement welfare economic policies, first of all, the government should guarantee the state income. In this proposal, set of proposals, the government has not explicitly proposed the income generation methods. Instead, the government appears to implement the previously imposed tax policies and other measures. The main income expected by the government is through, I think, the import of vehicles. You know, other income generation methods are already in the practice, they are implemented already. For example, the tax structure, especially the APIT tax, the advanced personal income tax, which is imposed to all who earn more than 100,000 rupees, is as it is, and no change has been taken place. Previously, government promised actually to increase the lower margin of the tax paying. For example, the proposal was to increase the lower margin to 150,000 rupees, but that has not taken place. And actually, from the society, I didn't see anybody protesting to not implementing this promise. It seems that the society is adjusted to this new tax structure. Other than that, there are other taxes such as excise taxes, especially for liquor and cigarettes and such productions. And a similar very high tax is imposed to vehicle imports. So the government's main expectation of income generation is vehicle imports. But there's doubt to me whether the people would buy vehicles at this rate. Due to tax, even Indian made very small car will be over 5 million rupees. So do people have so much money to buy such vehicles? And if people will not buy vehicles as expected by the government will definitely have to decrease the tax ratios. So this happened under the good governance government as well after 2015. Initially they imposed a certain high level tax to vehicle imports, and later they reduced those taxes. So the people who bought vehicles at high tax rates early had to actually sell them later at lower prices, and they had to incur losses. So same thing can happen regarding vehicle imports this time as well. And I think that people will not import vehicles as much as expected by the government, and so that will directly affect the government's income. So if that happens, it will be a problem to the government to pay the increased salaries of the public employees. At this moment, giving over 5,000 rupees salary increase to public employees is a huge burden to the government. The government service efficiency has not increased, and further recruitments are going to be taken place, and the previous allowances have now been added to the basic salary of the public employees. So first of all, their salary will increase in numbers, and that will cause a very high pension. The pension expenditure will definitely go very high in the recent times. So anyhow, to pay all these, the government should have income, but I don't think that their major income will work. The vehicle import tax will work so successfully. I don't know if we expect that will be successful so that the government can implement these budget proposals. Other than these things, there are certain policies that have been proposed to accelerate the economic growth. Now, for example, there are proposals to develop airports, harbour, and custom clearance systems, and some other proposals like that. And they will definitely be helpful to increase the economic growth. But there are issues like the government is going to carry on with the present situation of the Sri Lankan airline. Government's tax money, the people's tax money is to be allocated to Sri Lankan to be maintained without restructuring it. It will be maintained as it is, and it will be actually a heavy burden to people. When we consider the budget as a whole, I don't think that this is a very drastically different budget. This is very much similar to all the budgets that was proposed during the past 76 years. This budget is quite similar to President Ranil Wickramasinghe's budgets, and seems like an extension of his budget proposals, and due to the welfare economic policies introduced by this budget, this is on the other hand similar to Mahinda Rajapaksa's or Gotabaya Rajapaksa's budgets. So if I name this budget, I name it as a Rajapaksa Wickramasinghe Dissanayake budget. As a whole, people have high expectations on this budget proposal, and it is very popular, and it stands on the President Anurukumar Dissanayake's populist policies. And to maintain these populist policies and to implement these budget proposals, definitely the President and the government needs income, and income generation is quite problematic. Anyhow, to change what they, as they say, to change the system, I think first of all they should establish in the country, and to establish in the country, implementation of these budget proposals are very important. Let's see what will happen in the upcoming months.